Okay, camera angle's fixed.
Is it connected, I think?
So this one probably didn't connect anymore. Just really get that out.
It's in the bottom. I think it's on a rail.
It's just stuck. Okay, there you go.
So this is another hard drive, so it's multiple?
Yeah, so if you ever run out of space in your computer, you can just buy another hard drive and put it in. I'm trying to see up there. I think it has even more fans over here to help with air pressure. I can't see very well.
So yeah, we have an Apple computer that is like one of the really, really thin ones that have a huge screen.
Oh yeah, those ones they have fans on those ones.
I wouldn't expect them to because that'd have to be a small fan. So that small fan wouldn't really do anything.
Well, like for example, my laptop here, it's really thin, but has really small fans in it, and just has a lot of copper pipes on the inside that keep it cool. All right. Well.
So what's these? Are they like more like this thing?
Yeah, that's exactly what this does. It also helps take in heat. You have to put in the computer. And if you'll notice, here's our graphics card. The graphics card's the same way. The graphics card looks just like the processor. In reality, there's just a little card underneath here, or a little unit. And you'll see there's copper piping right here, and a fan. And it's made to just blow it right out the back of your computer. And so you'll see lots of that in computers, especially nowadays, because computers are getting really strong, but sometimes they don't know how to keep up with them. Another fun fact, some people put water cooling in their computer, which is just, they have water pipes that run through it.
Like a radiator on a car.
Yeah, and actually they call them radiators in computers too. All right. Well.
So which one of these do you think has the journal on it?
We could plug it in and find out actually. Because so every time you install a new hard drive on your computer, it assigns it a letter. So I don't know if you've ever seen at school, sometimes they say C drive or D drive. And so we can see what letter it was, and then we just pull it out, and then we can plug it back into my computer, for example, and pull the files off.
What plug do you use?
The same things. My computer on the inside has these same cords. It's funny, because even though this computer is probably a decade older, it uses the same power cords. And so that's the power cord.
And
And then these are the data cords that send the data to it. So, I think from here we're going to clean everything off. Oh, you gotta be careful. So you gotta hold it upright. Just sideways, it sprays out the liquid. Okay.
I think it's funny how cold it feels.
You know why it does that?
Why?
So anytime there's a chemical reaction, energy is either expended or gained. So usually when you gain energy, it gets hotter. If you lose energy, it gets colder.
Science right
and it's
now.
losing pressure.
We're talking about how like different states of matter are often related to energy. Like
We're talking about
plasma.
matter too.
What have you guys gone to? Solid liquid gas?
We've already passed
Plasma?
that. We're like on kind of what is like liquid. Like how does that kind of matter change into liquid change?
So right now we learned in science that there's 7 states of matter that we know so far. Solid, liquid, gas. Then there's plasma, which is just more energy. And then a nanokelvin above absolute zero, you have Bose-Einstein condensate. That's literally what happens. It's what happens when you take away like almost all energy, so there's like no movement. And what happens is the different atoms, since there's so little movement, they have like an identity crisis. They stop knowing where one atom is and where another atom is, and they all kind of just blend together into the new Bose-Einstein condensate.
That's cool.
And the next one It's quantum spin liquid.
Quantum spin liquid?
Mhm.
Never heard of it.
It's just basically like picture and like something magnetic. How think of each individual electron rotating in the electron cloud around the atom. Each electron in the electron cloud has its own charge, positive, negative charge, like its own domain.
Right.
And the domain's electricity
Yeah.
and magnetism. So each one of those has their own domains. And so in like iron and stuff, all those domains are kind of lined up, which gives it like makes it magnetic. But in quantum spin liquid, what they're called is a spin. Like each one is called a spin. So the spins are frustrated. They like don't line up to a certain degree that the entire atom just like collapse because all of the different electron spins that are rotating, they don't fit together and form something. They all kind of just collapse on each other, which makes the state of matter that's quantum spin liquid.
Well, that's cool. Alright, you can keep sharing with us in a second. But in the meantime, we're going to clean this as we put it back in. Feel free to keep sharing, but if you want to go ahead, you can start spraying that down with air. Okay, so we have quantum spin liquid. We're going to do dark matter. Is dark matter one of the films?
It's boson condensate, just because
Is that what dark matter is?
Dark matter's a theory, I'm pretty sure. At least that's what I think.
that looks cool.
Try with that, actually. It might be bigger. If you can't get it off all of it, what we're going to do with the leftover stuff, we're going to take cotton swabs and alcohol.
It's really cold now.
Yeah. Oh, shoot, yeah, it's condensation on the outside too. So, if you want to wipe off some of it with this, because we don't want to touch all that too much, you can spray that down. You can just go ham. My apartment's gonna be very dusty after this. Oh, let's clean on. Get that in. This metal part we can clean off this cotton.
So where'd you like learn all this stuff? Just
Internet. I just really liked computers and I wanted to learn how to build one. I just learned one day. I bought the parts over time. Alright. That's probably good enough for now. They're dying on us that almost all year. That's how it's getting weaker.
should I put this back on? Oh, gotta put the CPU.
There's
Yeah.
ice forming on it.
It's actually, oh my gosh, it's actually frozen.
Whoa.
Yeah, we went ham with this. Okay, let's put that to the side for now. So,
That's giving me like freezer burn.
do you want to clean off the CPU? CCL has gunk on it.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do this too, but whenever you install a CPU, you have to put thermal paste on it. And it's just the same stuff where it helps heat transfer from the CPU to the heatsink.
You just have to put that on after you clean.
Yeah, and it's just like a little dot of it. So this is the old stuff, so we want to clean it off with alcohol. If I catch you drinking this, I will send you home. Just kidding. So, be careful not to do it over these parts because it can damage that stuff. Voila. In the meantime, I'm going to have you do the same thing to the back of this, especially this part right here. Good job.
That comes off the release one.
In the meantime, I'm going to get some of the dust out of the back of this.
Whoa, wow.
Yeah, if you need to get another one, you can get another one. Last time, so for my birthday, my mom got me that computer case. when I was installing I got a new motherboard with it. When I was working on it, I had to do this like 3 times. That's pretty good. Your fingers sticky?
Not really.
No, still good. Okay, so I'll put that on here once we install it back in. So,
the arrow points to that.
alright, we're gonna play a game as we do this. Not a very complicated game, but it's a game nonetheless. You have to tell me what each part does as you reinstall it.
So
Little
that's
quiz.
the brain, CPU.
Alright, perfect.
Comparable to a brain and the nervous system.
So it's basically controls the computer. It's kind of like all this other stuff has to go through that too.
Yep.
It's processes.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, another thing, do you remember how it goes in?
Triangle points to here.
There you go. So I'm gonna try to get some of this off. Finish it.
Now put that on. No.
So there's a little black cap on it. You pull the black cap off. And be really careful here because we don't want to put too little, otherwise it's not going to transfer heat. But we also don't want to put too much on because otherwise it's going to spew out into the parts. And instead your motherboard's going to get hot.
So put it just on the top.
Yeah, so you just put right in the middle.
So how hard do you push it? Like just push it.
Yeah, if you want, you can practice over here on a piece of paper. You want about a little bit less than a pea of a drop on it. So you can just practice on this thing right here.
Just like that.
Yep.
Make it a little bit of
Yeah, maybe a little bit bigger. You want to try one more time? That should be perfect. So you put that right down in the middle of it. And we'll let Bryce close it. Yeah, that's a good amount. There you go. Yeah, I get back underneath that lip. There you go. Make sure you get as much of this off as I could. So the bad thing about dust, because dust will get in your computer, at the very least, if you guys ever build a computer again, it's smart to know how to do this just so you can clean it off. Because this dust could catch fire in your computer, and then everything in your computer is toast. The other advantage to this.
See what you did there.
What'd I say? I missed my own pun. Did I say a pun? What'd I say?
And then when the dust catches on fire, everything in your computer is toast.
Oh my gosh. I missed it. I said it myself. I love puns. In Texas, they have a pun off every single year where they have people get on stage and recite puns. Alright, that should be clean off. Oh, let's get that here. And so the other advantage is if, for example, your computer stops working one day and you can figure out, hey, you know what? My monitor's not turning, or my computer monitor turns on, but nothing's showing up. You know, it's probably the graphics card that's broken.
So I'm pretty sure with this one, the monitor, like the screen, the monitor won't turn on in there. So I'm pretty sure that's the problem.
You think that's the problem with this one? So the solution would be to just buy a new graphics card. And that way, instead of having to spend another $500 or whatever you want to spend, you can just buy a new graphics card. So,
Clean that
Oh.
off.
yeah, you should clean the bottom off of that.
So yeah,
Get
we have
alcohol
a laptop.
So is that some more of that paste?
Yeah, it's more of that paste.
So we have an iPad that the monitor won't turn on, but we tried connecting it to our
Good
TV.
smell.
We can connect it to our TV, and I got into a game just by looking at the TV and played it, but the iPad itself wouldn't turn on.
Wait,
Yeah.
Would that
Does that
still be the graphics card?
Actually, what tends to be on iPads is the screen is connected to the rest of the iPad over a ribbon cable like this. Is that the right way with that? It's the same on both sides, right? Yeah, I don't think it matters how you put it in. So it's a cable kind of like this, but smaller. And what will happen is over time, you can potentially get broken. If they break it all, usually the screen just stops working.
So I'd have to get a new one of those to fix it?
You can buy a new iPad screen online. They're going in already. There you go. Awesome. Perfect. I love it.
And then this thing goes.
So we'll unclean the
I
fans.
say we put
off.
this in.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be in the way of it.
So
Man, a lot of this.
we need to clean this still.
I don't know if these need to be clean. They're pretty clean. You can probably wipe off the tops to get that dust off. That one's pretty clean. If you want to use some cotton swab.
Oh, which way did it go?
It went in, yeah, that way. That's how it's gonna go back in. So you want to see if this one's dirty? Oh, that one's dirty. You want to clean this one off? I'll put these back on in a second. So you can use this.
Feel it now.
Is it frozen? Oh my gosh. If you're camping, you just need to keep your food cold, man. You just pull that off. Pull out a spray can.
So had you used this thing before, or was this the first time you used it for the computer?
That spray can?
Yeah.
I've used it before, because this computer didn't always be like that. I just have it in a different case. Let me show you. No, it's kind of crammed under here. But that case right there is where the computer used to be. So I took it out, I cleaned all my parts. Alright, so there's only so much you can get with the air. You'll eventually have to pull out a cotton swab and get the big stuff and clean it off.
So it goes in like this.
Yeah. You get the bottom one cleaned off? Alright, so let's get this all wiped off. You see all that dust? Alright. Get this wet with some alcohol. That's not very wet at all. Alright, try wiping that down with this. Okay. So here, so you guys know, you ever hear back in the day how like Nintendo used to be played with cartridges?
Mhm.
You ever hear like if it breaks, you just like blow into it to try and fix it? So the reason they did that is because, well, they didn't know it, but when you blow on it, sometimes your saliva gets in the connectors. And that gives it just enough of a connection to actually work again. But it only works for a few times and then eventually it breaks if you do that. So, don't blow on your computer components if you can help it. That's why you get compressed air. Alright. I think we should put these in next.
Okay.
So,
These are comparable, and your body, this is your short-term memory.
Yep.
So this like runs things that are happening right now.
Mhm.
On the computer.
yes,
So
go for it.
once you click on something and open something, it saves it and it holds whatever you're working on at right then. But as soon as you like exit out, it throws it away.
Exactly. That's mostly for programs. The one thing I should mention, all this stuff right here we're playing with is hardware. Because it's all physical, so it's hardware compared to software.
Which is like coding and that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So sometimes, this is how like my grandma. She'll see online like, oh, my computer's running slow. And she'll see an ad that says like, computer running slow? Download more RAM, which is this. Doesn't work. Because that's like saying, you know, download a leg. Like you can't download something physical. So if you ever see that scam online, don't click it. You're going to get robbed of all your bank
So how
information.
does this go?
So you'll notice that this little dip in the middle, that little divot, isn't exactly in the middle. It's slightly more to that side. So we have to make sure we line it up just right. So I think we want the shorter side on the top here. Yeah, that's about right. Oh yeah, I'm smelling the alcohol now. Are you guys smelling it?
Just like us. Stick it in.
Yeah, I'll make sure that the shorter side, so I think this is the shorter side, we want that side on the top.
Okay, this one's in.
Okay. So you put the next one in either here or here.
So this one, you could have another RAM, right?
Yeah, so that's another option. Sometimes if your computer is just slow, it just needs more RAM.
So it can like be processing multiple things at once.
Yeah, because sometimes, like for example, this is actually the case in my computer right now. There you go. You have the thing to click down. My computer has a really fast processor, but I only have 8 gigabytes of RAM, and so it can process really fast, but it just doesn't have enough information coming in fast enough from the RAM. All right, I'll put this one in to top it off. There you go. You push it till you hear the click.
Okay.
All right, that's the RAM.
So this then,
Yeah, graphics card would probably be next.
it helps with the video.
Mm-hmm.
And like displaying things up on the monitor.
So I didn't give this example earlier, but it'd be like your eyes,
Mhm.
or just the neurons and synapses that connect to your eyes.
I think it went wrong like this.
Oh, we should clean up the top of this, right here. Yeah. So if you have, come on, how are we doing for time? Well, your mom's gonna do your same. You guys are dusty. All right. For sake of time, I think we're just gonna go for it.
I think it goes on like this.
So you want to line it up with that black slot there.
And then and then this is gonna have to which I see this thing. Okay, now go in.
There you go.
Then we gotta make sure this right here locks.
You want to push it down? Yeah.
There you go.
You can push pretty hard and it won't break it.
That's it.
Is it in? Alright, so I'll slide this down. Yep, alright. Is that in?
Yep.
Perfect.
So now for these.
Yeah.
These are your long-term memory.
Mm-hmm.
So if you save something, this would be like your history, kind of. Like when you click into history, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's where you'll find it. Any, like, you know, if you save a Word document, it gets saved onto your hard drive. If you ever play a video game, all the data from the game you're playing gets saved on the hard drive.
So you stick it this way.
Now it looks like there's 3 different slots.
Yeah. Yeah, let me know which one you want. Is it the right? Yeah, it's
Okay,
right.
are we gonna pull out my mom's journal?
I don't think we're doing it today.
We can't like just take it and like there's a certain piece that has it on. We have to hook it up to a computer and
Yeah.
do that stuff.
Should we have more time? Would be a fun thing to do. There's that middle one that's really tricky, wasn't it? There you go.
Yeah, remember.
So have you guys ever thought about being engineers?
For my genius hour, it's just where you have 1 hour to do anything you want,
Would you like to?
and I'm doing electrical engineering.
Oh, really? How's that going?
Good. Right now, I'm trying to make a boat that floats with a motor. Just use it forward.
That's really cool.
So this last one actually goes in the opposite way. I was trying to put it in with
Yeah. It doesn't really matter because you can just connect the cords however.
You see, it goes like this. Notice how it's right.
Oh, you're right. So the wheel is right there.
It won't
It won't go in.
in this way. It just
Okay.
okay.
So much dust. Yeah, you gotta fit that bad boy in.
On the CD.
I flip the other way. Flip it around. I'll make sure we have it facing the right way. Yeah, that's right.
This way it'll go like this.
Yeah. My wife's gonna kill me. These are for her makeup, and I'm using all of them. They going in. What grade are you guys in?
I'm in 4th and I'm in 6th.
Sixth. I really liked 4th grade. I had a really good 4th grade teacher.
Same here.
You like your teacher?
Yeah, she's my favorite so far.
So far, I think I was my 4th grade teacher too.
We're just trying to figure out. So it looks like each one fits.
Here, I'll let you go first. Alright, so before you slide that once. Oh man. Oh, that's a problem. I think we get really close together. You want to pull them both up? Is it not coming out now?
So it looks like each one will run right down the middle.
Oh yeah, because there's
Okay, I got mine.
Got yours in? Alright, line on. I think yours is crooked.
So there's also zero line there.
Okay.
There we go.
Is it in?
Just about there. Looks like it's
Alright, now if I give it a shot, just we're running out of time here. Your finger okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
this one that looks like it needs to be.
We got that one going in. There we go.
Okay. And those are the CD burners, which in the human body would be.
Nothing. I'm just kidding. I don't know what to call CD burners. They're appendage, that's what I call it. Like your fingers, I guess.
These are the fans, which are the lungs.
That's a good way to put it.
Did it go like this?
Oh, so before we this, yeah.
On there.
Should we? I don't think we need to, but we can.
We don't really need to put that back in.
So before we can put the fan in,
We gotta switch this.
Yep. alright. Before we put it in, we gotta connect the fans back into these spots.
So this one. Here.
Actually, before we do the fans, you might want to connect everything else that we did over here.
Okay.
A lot more fun
This
kind of.
one went here.
I think it went to that one. Didn't it? And this one went to that one. Oh no, you're right. It was this one.
Yeah, because this one's smaller.
Yeah,
Or the one. I think there was another one that was there.
it wasn't this one. It was. Maybe you're right.
This one's over there.
Mine's
So these are gonna plug into.
color coded.
So that plugs into the hard drives over here.
No. This one.
So we'll be smart about this. How many? We're gonna keep this one in.
Which
Just plug it into this one. Doesn't matter which one you grab.
Where's the other hard drive plug? Is this it? Are they on the same one?
Yeah. So we have two on the same one usually.
Ah.
So you have two on yours. If because they're facing different ways, you want to use that one. Yeah, there you go. The other one.
nuts. What is it?
So it's shaped like an L, so you make sure you have the L shape lined up. So that's a problem. See, there's that little L shape at the very bottom.
Oh, yeah.
So you gotta flip it around like this to get it going.
And we got these two. These also play. Whoa.
Yeah.
And this time the L faces.
So one side's gonna connect into that hard drive right there. And the other side's gonna plug in.
Okay.
Not going in. So it's L shaped. Yeah, right the right direction, I think.
Okay. So
No, plug in that black slot right there.
this one to that one. Do I put this one in?
This black slot right here. Doesn't want to fit. It's because I don't like this. They have it strapped into this thing, which makes it kind of a tight squeeze.
Because you can bring it up and then just the way it's sitting. Just try to get that angle in your house.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right.
Oh, this one.
So, I believe these are just extra cords. You guys didn't unplug these, did you?
Nope.
These are for fans. If you install more fans in up here. So they give you the option to install more if you wanted.
And this one goes here. And points out. Do that one. Remember, this goes over here.
That's a tough one, isn't it? Got it? Perfect.
And squeeze these in.
This is the one I'm missing. Okay. Sorry, we'll do that in a second. Yeah, it was there. in the way. Oh, you know what it is, I think?
Outside this clip.
Are you sure it doesn't go inside? I think that part's supposed to clip inside of it right there. There you go.
Okay.
Alright,
Everything?
I think that's everything. Except for this little goofy piece of plastic we need to use.
Which slides right. Slide in.
Something like that.
I'll put that out.
Yeah, try the other way.
With this hanging off the back.
I think it's there. Oh, that's why. Yeah, it goes down like that. Now be careful not to break those cords. You know, it might be this part should be facing this way. Yeah, I think that's the issue. There we go. All right, we did it. So you can close it if you want. You like that sound?
If you put two fingers together and go like this, and you blow air.
Is that your science experiment? Okay, we successfully took apart and put back together a computer. So remember all the parts?
First one we took out was the CPU.
Uh-huh.
Then after that, it was
Those.
fans and the heat shield. There was the video processor or whatever that was.
So this part is called a video card.
Video card,
And then we took out the short-term memory.
short term, long term.
You know what that was called?
It was the RAM.
RAM. Don't ask why it's called RAM. I don't know why it's called RAM. They just named it RAM. And then, so the short-term memory. You know what the long-term memory is called?
Hard drive.
Those are your hard drives. And then
That
I think that's
CD player.
Yeah. and CD players or disk drives, as they're commonly called. I think that's everything. All right, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. It's really fun.
You guys plan on making a computer ever? Did you ever do it?
So I was thinking for my genius hour, we get to the rest of the year. Now I can use this kind of job shadow, like watch someone just like do their job.
Yeah.
When we were having this lesson, I'm like, oh, I could watch someone like how they build a computer or something like that.
Well, there you go. You could. And so I know lots of people who will make a job out of this, where they'll have a career fixing computers. There's actually a shop here in town where that's all they do. And it's really not that hard if you know what all the parts do. And most things just fit together like puzzle pieces. All right. Singapore. Oh, thank you.
Do you want me to pause this?
Yeah, we can stop that now, I suppose.